Old Trafford, Manchester, bursting at the seams on the last day in May in that glorious summer of 1984. It's the first of the one-day internationals between England and the West Indies for the Texaco Trophy. And Viv Richards, the great West Indian batsman, by common consent the best in the world, comes out to play an innings that none of those lucky enough to see it is likely to forget. When Clive Lloyd wins the toss for West Indies in a one-day match, more often than not, he puts his opponents in. But on this occasion, he decided to bat first. And England, thanks mainly to Ian Botham, got away to a really heartening start.
And in trouble here. And great trouble there, and he's gone, run out. A tremendous start for England. Oh, and he's gone. Yes, caught behind. A little bit of movement, and this is a marvellous start for England to get rid of both openers. Greenwich now following Haynes back into the pavilion with only 11 on the board.
West Indies 11 for 2, English adrenaline flowing. But what Viv Richards had in store for them, they could hardly have imagined.
Oh, it's a great shot. Short, hammered away through mid-wicket. Didn't quite time it as much as he would have liked, but it's going to bring him 2 very easy runs. But quickly into position. In fact, I think he possibly got into position a little too quickly there.
Getting into a pull position even off the front foot, seeing the ball very quickly. And of course, it was on this ground that Richards did give poor Bob Willis a terrible hiding one day. Scars of that might still be there, so Bob's just got to settle down, forget about that and that slightly loose first ball, and see if he can pin the great man down.
And that's only just over the head of mid-on. Very airy-fairy shot there from Viv Richards, not bothering to run. He'll have to change his mind because it's not going to reach the boundary. And in the end, they've only got a single from it. I don't know whether he lost grip of the bat there, but a very, very curious shot even for Viv Richards. So this is Botham's 4th over of the morning. That's a typical Richards effort. No need to run this time. A little flick of the right hand and it races through mid-wicket for 4. And a smile from Botham. He knows full well he should never bowl to Richards there. Oh, that's 4 more. It was in the air, but the placement was right. Being short X from mid-off, never any danger of a catch. And the score suddenly rattles along when Richards arrives.
You wouldn't see that in an international match in many a year. One of the gentlest little pushes from Richie Richardson. Bob Willis just calmly going forward, clasping his right hand around it, and another wicket down for the West Indies.
Well, from the batsman's reaction there, he was completely surprised by the slowness of the pitch of that ball.
Safely away for 4. No slip there. It's one of the risks you take if you set a field of this kind, but so far it's worked with Richards. He's needed the edge of the bat to get away from Gower and from Foster. There's that favourite shot, and it split the 2 men behind square. Fatal to bowler Richards on the leg side. That is a remarkable stroke. The strange thing about it is that almost invariably he gets it in the middle of the bat. Most people would miss it or get the inside edge. Very well bowled. That, if you could go down your hands and knees and pray to be able to bowl the ideal delivery, that would be just about it. To have it drift into the left-hander's pads, pitch on leg stump, and then clip, I think it was probably the off bail or the outside of off stump. One of the great cricketers the world has ever seen. Clive Lloyd. Well, he's away immediately. No holding back there. Doesn't matter if the ball's spinning or not.
And there you see Jeff Miller made the mistake of getting a little bit over optimistic and getting it right across the leg stump.
Richards again. That's it. And Gatting giving chase. He'll cut it off all right. There'll be 2 more to Richards. 2 more, which takes him through to his half century. 51 on the board in the 22nd over, with the West Indies on 83 for 4. And in view of the match with 4 wickets down, he's got them remarkably quickly. 59 balls and 5 boundaries included. So Miller in again. Again, bowl leg stump. Swung away down to deep square leg, and he's holed out on the square leg boundary. Oh dear, oh dear. Clive Lloyd will be cross about that.
Well, Clive's always played that shot to the off spinners, and it's a very vital wicket there for England. Good catch, well judged, took it well.
So Richards on 56, 89 the score to face Miller. That's exactly where the off spinner can't afford to bowl. Short outside the off stump, put away with no bother at all, taking Richards on to 60. Must have a great chance of Man of the Match award here. I think Viv Richards, he might get a few overs in on this pitch as well.
A very fine shot this. Again, quite wide, a good foot outside the off stump. And really, it has looked a different game when Viv's been batting to any other batsman. He's looked in tremendous form all morning. Again, we're having to move a fielder back, which is not a bad thing, because you get the new batsman at the batting end if possible.
It's a nice full toss. He's crushed that through mid-wicket for 4 this time. Well, at the moment, it really is Richards v England.
And certainly Viv has a tremendous attitude to this game, where anybody else will be trying to dig in and save this, get the graft, but he just counterattacks all the time, and it's tremendous to watch.
That's another short one. So not a very good piece of bowling this at the moment by Miller to Richards. And had 2 short ones and a full toss. Oh dear, that's a little jolly catch. First ball, panic stations. Well, quite an extraordinary over this. And Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd, I think, won't be very pleased with that first ball that Duchamp received. No sort of shot at all. A little dolly catch just round the corner. 98 for 6 in the 25th over. Seemed an extremely long over from Miller. Still 1 ball to go. He's taken 2 wickets, of course. And comes in now to Marshall. Pushes it easily away. Takes 1. The end of quite a remarkable over. 2 wickets. 2 or 3 really very bad balls in it. Richards punished them, but Lloyd was dismissed. and so would Dujon. So 6 overs, 3 for 19. Richards then on 65. That didn't bounce very high, could have dragged it on. And that's a close call, he's run out. Would you believe it? Marvellous piece of work there. And Malcolm Marshall goes, it really has been a disastrous morning for West Indies. Marshall coming a long way down, seemed that he would get back, but the throw again was absolutely spot on and he had to go. 102 for 7.
Well, marvellous piece of cricket by David Bairstow, this. I don't think there's another wicketkeeper in the English counties would have got this. Marshall set off, had a little bit of a slip there. Had to go back. And a beautiful pick-up and throw by David Bairstow. Oh, yes, perfect. Left him stranded there, and that's a tremendous boost for England now.
Just nudges that away fine. That's going to beat Bob Willis. No hope of cutting it off. He's dealt in boundaries here this morning as Viv Richards. His placement, as ever, has been absolutely top class.
Shot. No man out. And Pringle spraying once again towards leg stump. Great depth in the batting lineup. The West Indies, and Aldine Baptiste goes into the 20s.
He hits up to the ball, flicks up to it, and it went catchable height.
He's going to look for 2 here, Viv Richards. Andy Lloyd at deep pine leg. 150 up, and now this is an entirely different story. Almost without effort, Richards and Baptiste have added 36 in even time since the luncheon interval. Botham. Oh, bowl! Beautiful leg cut. Bairstow catches again. Botham has done it. Coming on to bowl with 161 on the board. He's broken through, and that is absolutely vital for England's chances that partnership should be broken.
Yes, England was suffering, and now Botham in his second over has done the trick. Just got it on a nice length wide out there, and Bairstow's joyous face tells the story.
A ring of 7 fielders looking to save the single as Foster comes in now to Garner. And he's appealing for the catch, and it's given. Yes, Garner goes caught and bowled. Took it very low down. Not hit back with a tremendous amount of power, but one of those awkward ones, just an inch or so from the ground. And very well picked up by Neil Foster to give him his first wicket of the innings. 166 for 9. I think wisely Foster's got a slip back for Michael Holding. And moved nicely into position, hurried through for the single to give Richards the strike. Richards then on 98. And they're looking for the 100. Are they going to make it? No. Shall speedier mover than Willis. There's only one in it.
If he does get the 100, it'll be as good a one in one-day cricket. as I've seen. Absolutely carried this West Indian team from the moment he walked in. Without him, they'd be already out and gone. So here he comes, Ian Botham to Viv Richards.
No problem, a single anywhere he wants it, and that he decided was once again on the leg side. He's made it into 4, which takes him on to 103. And what a great innings this has been. 103 out of 173. With wickets tumbling all around him. He's only received 112 balls, 12 fours in it, and the 7th time he's made 100 in limited over cricket. So it's 3rd versus England, and in fact only the 4th made here at Old Trafford in these one-day internationals. I'm looking for a few more, but just be one at this time, as the field is pushed well back for him now. Still another 13 overs after this one. This last wicket pair. That's edged away. He's found the gap very nicely between the wicketkeeper and slip. So 4 streaky runs. And a valiant dive there by Bairstow, but there was no way in which he could ever reach it.
Well, it could scarcely have dissected that gap better.
Foster to Richards. Give himself room. Beautiful shot. Really was. Classic off drive there. To a ball pitched, I suppose, round about leg stump.
Well, this is magnificent. It's well outside leg stump. He's stood away, and he's still swung the bat in classic style, absolutely controlled, even though there was a fielder within 15 yards, couldn't get it.
Just nudged it away down to long leg. Happy this time with the single. It's another over slipping by. 43 of the 55 gone now. 184 for 9. 109 to Richards. And 5 on the board to Holding. And both of them once again to bowl to him. That's hoisted away. Beautiful shot again. Quite amazing the strength of this man on the leg side. Just seemed to flick that over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. And it's a very long carry today down to the pavilion steps. 1-6 to Richards, about to receive from Foster. And that shot again, absolutely magnificent. Straight 6 this time, and again to a ball pitching outside the leg stump. A couple of steps away and just put it exactly where he wanted it. Straight for 6.
Well, you wonder how long this can go on. It wasn't even a half volley. It was, if anything, it was short of a length. We're really seeing something here, I can tell you.
A short one, attempted bouncer, and that's put away in great style again for 4 more. And one feels a shade sorry for the bowlers, I must say. It's almost impossible to bowl to this man when he's in this frame of mind. That sees a 200 up. Go through a single on that misfield, if I might get him. So Botham comes off with 1 over left him to bowl and is replaced by Derek Pringle. That's the great joy of Viv Richards, who's immediately put him into the crowd for 6. and again with apparently no effort whatsoever. Overpitched. Flick of the bat, little flick of the wrists, and away she goes. Oh, that's a real cracker of a shot. Soared away into the far distance there, right smack into the middle of the crowd. So 150 goes on the board for Viv Richards, holding down the wicket to shake him by the hand. Tremendous performance, 4 sixes, 15 fours, and he scored up more than a run a ball. Johnny had 147 balls. And there aren't too many 150s scored in a 55-over match. Wonderful performance. Big Bob Willis has been the one man to have contained Richards out there in his 10th over now. He's given away only 22 runs. Dundee's going to contain that one. 4 more. Familiar side step. And crash through the wide open spaces. And that means that's gone a magnificent 6, right over the top.
Well, at least he deigned to really give it a full swing at the bat this time, but almost the easiest hit of the whole game. He's just popped it where he wanted.
So Holding's turn this time. He's picked Bob Willis up, put him straight over mid-on for a very easy 4. Well, they probably think they've got enough now. Just a little leisurely flick over the top of mid-on. So Michael Holding becomes just the 3rd batsman to get into double figures. Steered wide of slip. And Holding wants to. He wants a little bit more of this. Gates closed here very early on this morning. And they've had some really fantastic value. We've seen 250 go on the board here after West Indies had been in every kind of trouble. Thanks chiefly to that batsman there at number 4, 168. Probably just working out what's on television tonight. Lent into that one. Umpire Shepherd waiting to see if it's 4 or 6. In fact, it bounced a couple of yards in front of the ropes.
Well, I don't know what Pringle had in mind here, but wound up with a high full toss outside leg stump. And Richards is really going to pick it off from anywhere now.
He might want 2 this time for a change. And he gets it to keep the strike. They did pretty well to stop that. It was racing away. So 176 for Viv Richards, and that makes him the highest scorer in one of these limited over internationals. 175 not out by Kapil Dev last year. But the impression he'd rather like to face the last over too. 176 out of 260. So a stand of 94 for the last wicket so far. There's a full toss, and there's 4 more. Oh, yet another boundary flowing from the bat of this great player. I only want 2 more to have added 100 for the last wicket. I'm pretty sure that there's never been a century stand for the last wicket in one of these games before. That's going to be the 2, all right. Is it going to be 4? Yes, just beaten Fowler, racing round there. So there we are, 100 stand for the last wicket. 166 when they came together. It's moved on now to 268 with a ball left. And this massive contribution of Viv Richards now stands on 185. And as you might expect, it ended with a 4. Richards' bat held high. One of the great innings of one-day cricket. 189 not out. And he alone is responsible for putting West Indies in such a very strong position. Magnificent reception for the Antigua. And how thoroughly well he's deserved it.
It was a privilege to be at Old Trafford to see an innings like that, though I suppose England's luckless bowlers might query such a judgment. And just look at the West Indies card. Richards, 189 out of a total of 272 for 9 in 55 overs. He hit 21 fours and 5 sixes. England, after that, needed to bat exceptionally well if they were to score at roughly 5 and over. They lost by 104 runs, but Alan Lamb gave us a foretaste of his splendid Test season to come. The fact was that Viv Richards, with his superb innings of 189, had scored more than all England put together. By his own exalted standards, the great man hasn't had a distinguished year, but those of us who saw this innings at Old Trafford must rate it as one of the most brilliant we've ever seen.
Oh, that's a real cracker of a shot. Give himself room. Beautiful shot. Really was. Classic off drive there. That's hoisted away. Beautiful shot again. Quite amazing the strength of this man on the leg side. Just seemed to flick that over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. And that shot again. Absolutely magnificent. Straight 6 this time. And again to a ball pitching outside the leg stump. And as you might expect, it ended with a 4. Richards' bat held high. One of the great innings of one-day cricket. 189 not out.